What's up everyone, my name is Parv and I welcome you to our show here on YouTube. We ask people just like yourselves to send in their best plays and we gather, select, and return to you the best here in Protatomonster's League of Legends Top 5 Plays. Starting off this episode, we have Karma 14 on Jarvan, and at the start of this play we see the enemy team charging to face check the brush as the friendly tanks stay in the front line. Amumu goes in and ults, followed by Jarvan knocking 3 up as MF ults him on top of Gangplank's ultimate, melting their health down as the enemy Wukong gets bursted down and dies. Right after, Jarvan instantly ults the Swain, locking him out of the team fight and away from his carries as they assist him in killing Taric and Swain for the triple, Lee Sin for the quad with a nice Q, and then turning to catch the Ashe with a flash E for the penta. Scoring in our number 4 spot is Cynix 0-2 on Lux, but this is really just awesome timing and synergy in the whole team. Right off the bat, we see a Lux flash and launch out her Q, catching the Alistar and Karthus as she runs to follow it up with a Lucent Singularity, immediately forcing the enemy team to come help. All of a sudden, we see the Ashe arrows start to come flying in, mixed with a Tornado and Laser, Falco punching their faces in, and then that's all finished off with a volley, activating Lucent Singularity, and an Essence Flux to go through and pick up the Quadra kill. Best KS NA. Coming in at 3rd place is Points of Authority on Katarina, and her teammate went to check Dragon and got caught, so she runs away with her and positions herself, seeing Malphite coming in. As the enemy team funnels through, Malphite ults him as Katarina starts up her ultimate, ravaging the enemy team from the other side of the wall. She picks up the kill on Taric and Shyvana instantly, and then kites back and EQs for the triple. She walks back a bit and then uses her W and Chum posts the Corki for the quad as Malphite chases down Annie and eventually aces the enemy team. Positioning is key, and you can truly see the strength of 2 well-played champions that synergize well in this 2v5. Landing in at our number 2 spot is SandaraBunny on Morgana in a high elo game. Mad props go out to the Janna to make this play happen. At the start of this play, Morgana lands a 6 spell shield to absorb Amumu stun, then she ults on 4, popping Zhonya's immediately, and right before going out of range, Janna monsoons 3 players right back to her, making the stun possible. By this time, her team comes in. Despite going down early on in the team fight, the Morgana ultimate bought enough time for her team to wipe out Amumu early on and allows them to come in from all sides on a much weaker enemy team. Thanks to this play and ace, they are able to take out Baron buff on the enemy team and win shortly after. Dat Monsoon. And for our number 1 pro play for this week, we have Kog on Hecarim. Right off the bat, we notice the team scores are 25-41, and the friendly in Italy set up a distraction so that our team could rush the Nexus and win. As soon as the enemy team realizes what's going on, they assume the worst. They start beating themselves up for chasing the Nidalee for so long, and soon after, they start calling out GG. But then they strike gold. The inhibitor respawns right before Hecarim's team can finish off the Nexus, and they're forced to head back to the inhib to kill it. By now, some of the enemy team has come back to help defend, and they're freaking out about how clutch the inhib respawn was that saved them. Misfortune dies, but they still go for it, rushing the Nexus for a second time as they bring it really low again, and then Hecarim gets exhausted and Janna monsoons his team away, so the enemy team finishes off his team, and he realizes he won't make it to the Nexus with that Udyr on top of him. He runs out through top lane, taking several tower hits but escaping with a mere 65 health as the enemy team starts celebrating their win prematurely, forgetting that the one guy with no health has escaped. They chase him through their jungle for a little bit as he pops his E to gain massive movement speed and escapes. The enemy team decides it isn't worth their time to chase him down like they tried to with Nidalee earlier and decide to instead follow Ashe down mid to win the game. We now see the Ashe taking out the Nexus turrets and her team is running in from everywhere to join her. They still can't believe the comeback just happened thanks to the inhib and continue to celebrate, but we keep an eye on Hecarim, who hasn't given up yet. Just as Udyr thanks him for throwing the game that they threw in the first place but lucked out on, Hecarim makes his move onto the enemy Nexus as they beat on his Nexus, probably laughing their heads off, but he snatches the victory from them in the blink of an eye, baffling the enemy team. Back-to-back-to-back throws. I love League of Legends. Victory. And for the bonus clip of the week, we have Asphix on Nautilus doing what Spider-Not does best. As the clip plays, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching and to remind you to like this video if you liked any or all of these plays because it helps out the show a lot. And let's face it, who doesn't think that Hecarim play is hilarious? Thanks everyone for watching and have a wonderful weekend.